Wolves lost 1-0 today against Tottenham at Molineux in Bruno Lage's first home game, and it felt eerily similar to the Leicester game, didn't it? Or even better, to be honest. There was an improvement, and I think anyone with a brain watching that game can see that we're going in the right direction and there was positives to take. But it just feels like one of those games that we could look back on at the end of the season and go, that could have been a moment, where it could have got an extra few points. When the team came out, I think everyone knew what it was going to be anyway. Bruno's kind of settled on his favoured 11, at least before signings have come in anyway. Semedo come in to replace Keanu Herver, had a really good game. And obviously, Tottenham scored really early on from a Dele Alli penalty. For me, it was a penalty. The commentators were trying to say it wasn't. It was. I think it's just one of those things where Jose Sarr, it's very early on in the game, he's kind of rushed out and he's kind of felt like he had to make, a challenge, and otherwise Dele Alli rounds him. And I can understand why, and look, it's clever from Dele Alli. Dele Alli's a clever footballer. He knows what he's doing. He's left his foot out. And should that be a penalty? Probably not. But if it was the way around, I'd want it given. So I had no issue with it. And good penalty from Dele Alli. It was a bit annoying how, a minute later, Nelson Semedo got fouled in exactly the same way and nothing was given. But even then, it didn't really put Wolves off. I think we had, was it 25? Yeah, 25 shots. Okay, a lot of them weren't on target, granted. Ruben Neves kept shooting from ridiculous angles and stuff, but there was positives there. I wasn't really that bothered about Nuno coming back, and I would have kept Nuno for another year anyway. But Wolves fans wanted a more attacking philosophy and a more attacking manager. We've got that, and I don't think you can really complain. These sort of things happen where you have a lot of shots and it just isn't your day. On another day we win that game 2-0, and it's an incredible performance. And we've made that deal with the devil. We got Nuno today. We what Tottenham did to us is what we've done to plenty of teams in the past. And, there were games where we beat teams before and people went, well, at least they played better football, blah, blah, blah. And that's what we're doing now. And we kind of have to trust it. I thought most people had a good game. Even Jose Sarr, it was a clear mistake for the penalty, but his distribution's very good. He was commanding his box, made some really good saves late on. Yes, it's a mistake. Yes, it's early on, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him for that. I thought all the back three were really good, including Connor Cody and Robin Say. So they get a lot of criticism, but I don't think they're anywhere near as bad. Of course, we need another centre back, but they're not as bad as people say they are. Marcel is so frustrating for me because he's such a good one-on-one defender. He really is, but his crossing is so bad. He probably put in 5 or 6 crosses in that game, and I don't think any of them particularly good. Personally, I think Aït is the future of that position. I'd much rather him play. That's just my preference, although I get it's mainly probably because the Dharma's not going to do the tracking back right. Semedo was fine coming back. He'll only get better as he recovers from COVID. I thought everyone in the front line was really good as well. It's hard because we lost a game and not scored, yet I can't really criticise anyone. Trincao grew into the game. He seems to be one of those players that has to feel his way into a game, which it's a bit annoying, but I thought he had a really good second half. Probably needs to go out on the outside a bit. Like the amount of times Trincao gets the ball, cuts back in, and then just passes it back, it gets very predictable. I thought Moutinho had a great game as well. I think it's clear that Ruben Neves is the sitter, and then Jan Moutinho will play a bit further forward. I think Jan Moutinho's fine. He does a job. I don't think he's had. I think he's had good games in both games, the Leicester game and the Tottenham game. But you probably need someone in that position that can play 38 games a season, because I don't think Jan Moutinho could do that. Like, he was one that was starting the press a lot of the time, and that's fine. But when you're 35, you're not going to be able to do that for a whole season. And that's probably where the signings will start. I thought Raul Jimenez looked back to his best, especially in the first half. You could tell he burnt out a bit towards the end, but there was a lot of good one-on-one moments. There's one where he bullied Davinson Sanchez, and you can tell he's back in the rhythm now, which is nice. Second half started. Thought we defended pretty well for the whole half. Obviously, the big chance was the Traore one-on-one. It was in that situation, you've kind of got to give credit to the goalkeeper as well. I fully acknowledge that, but it was very similar to the Man City goals he scored a few years back, and he should be scoring those. It's on his right foot. He's got enough time. Needs to lift it. Like, Lloris leaves his foot out dangling, that's fine, but if there's any elevation on that ball, it's going past Hugo Lloris's feet. And, it kind of felt, I think when that chance missed, I think everyone kind of thought, yeah, we're not scoring now. And for me, this game shows that there's a good future. You know, if you're a Wolves fan and you're a Tottenham fan, although Tottenham won the game and Tottenham got 6 points out of possible six, judging off this game anyway, I think there's a lot more to be confident with for the future of your club if you're a Wolves fan than a Tottenham fan. Of course, the signings need to come in. You know, when did we even sign Trincao? It was ages ago. And when did I do it? A month. It was a month ago we signed Trincao now. By the way, subscribe to the channel, like the video. But it's been a month since we signed Trincao now. Nearly 2 months. Those signings need to come in now and level this up. There's a good platform there with the squad we've already got. The signings we've already made look to make a decent impact. But there needs to just be one or two more. For me, midfield's the main issue. Need a central midfielder. And assuming Adama stays, need a centre-back. But for me, watching that game, of course I'm a bit disappointed, but there's nothing that I want to sit here and like moan about or cuss Bruno Lage for. I thought it was a decent performance, something to build on, and we're only going to get better as the season goes on. The players are still learning the system. Bruno's still learning his players, and yeah, I'm pretty positive. I'm happy with the performance, and hopefully we get through in the cup, and then Man United have just drawn today, so that could be a decent chance. But then when we go into that Watford, Brentford, Newcastle, Villa run of 4 games, you kind of want to start picking up points. But right now, we're building a decent foundation, and I think the club's going in the right way, assuming we make those signings. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yeah, peace.